Now, this is a video that I've been meaning to make for quite a while, and I just didn't get around to doing it because I was doing other videos as well as doing live streams. But this video is going to make a lot of you upset. I can already tell by the content of this video. I unfortunately did have to watch it before recording this video, so it's not going to be a live reaction. But trust me, you guys are going to want to see this video, as I'm sure you are well aware of what it is already. So, this video right here is a Zoom meeting call that was leaked from Target. Yes, this is a Target employee leak talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion. These five women on screen right here are just a few of many reasons as to why Target and other companies are dealing with this nonsense. You have women like this who act like this and think like this, who look down on people of color, as they like to call them. They look down on them and they try to ask them, what can we do as white people to make your lives so much better? Because clearly, to these women over here on the left, for an example, women like this swear up and down that they are far superior than women like this over here, because it's always the same conversation. It's always, oh, what can we do to help you? What can we do to help the lessers of us? You know what I'm saying? It's cringe. It really is. And I'm sick and tired of people like this eating up the bullshit that white liberals tell them. So we're going to get into this video, guys. But of course, before we do, just consider giving this video a like so you can push us out into the YouTube algorithm, and consider subscribing because we're on our way to 22,000 subscribers. Now let's press play, guys. We're going to watch the entire video through and through, and then we're going to break it down and talk about it afterwards for all the people that complained that I talk too much during the video. So here we go.
What would you say is the number one thing white women could do as we talk about helping more BIPOC women rise into leadership? What's the one thing that white women could do to be helpful? Kira, do you want to start?
I'd love to. I think the number one thing that I would encourage white women to do is take the learnings that you've invested to better understand and use your voice. Use your voice so the woman of color in the room doesn't always have to be the woman that calls out the transgression. Use your voice so the woman of color in the meeting doesn't have to call out the transgression. Use your voice so the woman of color in the interview recap doesn't have to ask what their peer meant when they said X. Use your voice. Because whether it's right or not, Allison, there are places that you and I will go where your voice will be heard differently than mine. And that is why we're doing this work. That's why it's so important to have this conversation. But we also can't ignore the systemic history that got us here, and then the things that we have to do differently to remove those barriers. So use your voice. Use your voice. It's crucial for us. It's crucial for the other people that you work with.
Okay, so, oh my God, I literally have, I think, a woke headache at this point. This is one of those videos, right? So, I just can't help laughing. All right, so as you guys saw in the beginning of the video, the way that this person here on the left was talking to these people here on the right was very condescending. Okay, in my opinion, it's very condescending. As someone who is not white himself, it is extremely condescending to see a white person speak in a manner of which seems that they are superior just from the reasons being that they are white. And it is the most asinine thing that I have ever heard by far. But again, people like this, unfortunately, eat this shit up as this woman is doing right now. Now, granted, she may full on want to tell this woman off, but because they are at work, of course, they have to be politically correct. Now, listen again to the way that she speaks to them. What can we do as white women? They love to say this because they want to put the labels on everybody, right? I'm a white woman, you're a POC, you're a person of color, you're a woman of color. They want to put labels on everybody because that's how they can control the speech. But listen again.
What would you say is the number one thing white women could do as we talk about helping more BIPOC women rise?
What's the number one thing white women can do? I think the number one thing that white women can do is probably shut the fuck up about these issues. Because again, stop thinking that you are superior to the point where you are constantly needed for help. You are not the white savior. And a lot of these women think like this. That's the problem. She thinks like this. This woman's nodding over here thinking like this. This stupid lady over here says nothing and is just nodding and thinks like that. Guarantee. And these two women are walking around with chips on their shoulders because they think they are inferior to white people. She even says it at the end. She says that when she goes places, she's going to be heard differently than the woman at the top. Why is that? First off, why do you think that? Number two, if that's the case, where are you going that they're doing this and why are they listening to you differently? Are you going to institutions that are notoriously white led and white ran and they're listening to you differently like that? If that's the case, why is that? Are you communicating it in the exact same manner as whoever this is at the top? Or are you saying it in a different way? Perhaps you're not being as descriptive as the one at the top. If you try to make everything about skin color, that's all you'll ever see in your life. And that's what these women are doing. They are only seeing these things through the eyes of skin color. And she knows. She knows. This lady at the top, she absolutely knows. If she keeps this going, she's always going to stay at the top. That's how they stay at the top. They convince these women that they are oppressed. They convince these women that they are lesser, that they don't have the same opportunities, that they don't have the same chance at an outcome at life. They don't have the same anything as this woman simply because they're black. So you got them utterly convinced that they're never going to account to anything close to what this woman could account for. And guess what? All that does is ensure that this woman absolutely stays on top and never has competition ever. At least not from anybody other than other white women. And that's how they keep you in mental chains. That's how they keep you strapped up in mental chains with the inability to fight back or to think for yourselves or anything of that sort because you're too busy blaming fucking race for all of your problems in your life instead of bettering yourself.
I think the number one thing that I would encourage white women to do is take the learnings that you've invested to better understand and use your voice.
Why would you need the white woman? Look how happy she looks. She's like, yes, yes, I will use my voice. I will be an ally for you, my black queen. Why do you need the white woman's voice for any of your causes? Why? Why? Why do you need the white woman's voice for anything that you need to do? You are strong enough to do it on your own. You are powerful enough. You are smart enough to do it on your own. She has convinced you otherwise, and now she is going to be on top of you for the rest of your life. You are never going to reach her status simply because you think in your mind you can't do it. And that's the problem. That's how these people stay on top. So I really do wish better for the black community. Unfortunately, they get virtue signaled the most by far because the majority of people in this country are white, obviously. And how do you stay on top? You convince everybody else who's not like you that they don't never have a chance to be like you. And that's basically what they're trying to do. White liberals are not your friends. They never will be your friends. And this is what's tearing apart these companies, these woke diversity, equity, and inclusion Zoom calls. Imagine that everybody here got paid to take part in this conversation. Everybody here got paid to take part in this bullshit diversity conversation over a Zoom call when honestly, look at this. I want to make something even more funny. Isn't it crazy to me that every single woman aside from the two black women has some sort of nice animated background, looks really good, right? And yet the two black women just plain white backgrounds. Like didn't even bother to put any effort or thought into their background, just plain old white background. And you want equality? I can't, man. I can't. If you're not going to try as hard, you don't deserve the equal outcome. And at the end of the day, if you have in your mind that you are subpar to someone simply because they have glistening white skin, there are other problems within yourself that you need to address first. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.